Welcome back, everybody. Terminator Dark Fate movie review. So, I have not long finished watching this movie, and I went into this on board. I did. I reacted to the trailers on this channel, on my reaction channel. Basically, this movie review is going up on both channels. And I reacted to the trailers, and I was actually really, really looking forward to it. That being said, there was always that underlying kind of thing. It's like, oh, is it going to be kind of following, or not following, but is it going to kind of have that feel of the last three movies, as in Rise of the Machines, Salvation, and Genesis? Even though I kind of knew that this was a direct sequel to T2, and to be honest with you, it is a direct sequel to T2. You can pretty much cancel out Rise of the Machines, all those three, cancel them straight out. Don't even think about those movies in any way, shape, or form in this, because this is by far just a complete direct sequel to T2. And I went into this kind of a bit, I was like, oh, please just make this be good. And I have to be honest with you, I absolutely love this movie. I really, really did. Now I get there's going to be probably some people out there that probably do not like this movie. There probably might be even some hardcore Terminator fans, which will probably not like this movie. But everything that I'm about to say are my own personal opinions. I've always said in a movie, when I go and watch a movie, is that as long as I feel entertained at the end of the movie, then it's a good movie. And I felt very entertained at the end of this movie for many, many reasons, which I'm gonna get into. This will be a non-spoiler review. I am gonna do a spoiler review tomorrow night. Um, but honestly, generally, I can honestly hold my hands up and just say yes. I can almost go to say to the point I actually love this movie for so many reasons, and I'm going to get into which is this is going to be a very very tough movie review for me because I want to talk about all the awesome stuff that I saw in this movie, but I can't not yet. So it's just going to be generally just about the film, movie, the performances, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Um, and to believe it or not, I actually kind of filmed a movie review for this already, but that was like 15 minutes long, and I've just looked back at it, and I was just like, I'm gonna just try and condense this down just slightly because that movie review went on for quite a while. So this movie was directed by Tim Miller. We get to see the awesome return of Lyndall Hamilton as Sarah Connor. We also got Arnie Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, the Model T-101. We also got Mackenzie Davis as Grace, who is kind of like the Carl Reese in this one. We also got Gabriel Jr. I can never say these people's name as a Rev 9 or the Bad Terminator. We also got Natalia Rios, I can't say her name either, as Danny in this movie. So this movie once again sees a Terminator coming down to try and hunt somebody down, and they send back also another kind of good Terminator in the form of Grace, played by Mackenzie Davis, who is human, but with a difference. She's more of like this kind of super soldier. She's not a Terminator, which I can give that away because it's in the trailer, which is probably the only thing I can give away. But she is very very good, and she's there to protect basically Natalia, as in the character Danny, in this. Um, and that's about as far as I can go with the plot with this without actually giving anything away. All I can tell you is that most of the performances in this were actually really, really good. The main performance which really stuck out for there's two performances in this. No, actually, there's three performances. In fact, all of the performances are actually pretty good, to be fair, and I'm going to go through each one of them straight away. And I'm going to start off with Sarah Connor, as Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. Her return to this franchise is one of the best moves they ever did, to be honest with you. From the start, it was absolutely brilliant. Right at the very beginning, you get a throwback to T2, and you just look at that and you go, yeah, but I can see the standard of how this movie is going to go. She was absolutely brilliant from the start. The greatest thing was that she is different, but in a different as in the way that she's a lot older, she's a lot wiser, she's a lot more chiseled, she's a lot more badass than what you saw in T2 as well. And she basically hunts Terminators. I can't go any further into that plot line without actually giving anything away. So, but her performance in this was absolutely brilliant. To have her back on screen in a Terminator franchise is something that should have been done for Rise of the Machines. And it should have been done for Rise of the Machines. I get there's probably reasons why she didn't return, but she her return to this franchise, honest to God, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. Her performance in this was absolutely brilliant from start to finish. She does play quite a pivotal role in this movie. She's not the key and end all. She's not the key to this movie, but she's there. Try not to say nothing. Don't say anything, Dave. Please do not say anything. I gotta stop myself. Or I'll give it away, and I don't want to give it away, just in case there's people that haven't seen it yet, and I really, really don't want to give it away. But in general, her performance in this is absolutely brilliant. I got to be honest with you. And when she gets to be reunited with Arnie Schwarzenegger in this, it's actually really, really good, and it's actually kind of full of emotion. You can actually feel that emotion. There are reasons for this, which I can't get into either, but you see it, and everything after T2 in this movie is explained, and it's not overdone. They didn't take too much time to do like kind of explain what happened after T2 in between this and that movie, but it's very, very good. It is extremely good, and it's something that I really, really enjoyed. If you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm on about. Exactly what I'm on about. And I just think it was a very, very good touch. It was very good how they set up this movie, and I think just her performance in general was absolutely brilliant. She even carried some damn good comedic moments in certain points, which made me laugh. I have to be honest with you. And like I said, there are certain scenes in here where you go, oh, damn. You know, there's that it's that kind of feel. You get that kind of nostalgia throwback, and and which I'm going to get into why I felt like that a little bit in just a little bit. Now I'm going to move on to Mackenzie Davis's character as Grace. Like I said, she is kind of like the Carl Reese. She's not a human, but she's not a Terminator. She's like a super soldier. She is very, very good in this. Extremely, extremely, extremely good. Her to make this movie must have been seriously physical, because she is involved in some seriously good and badass fight scenes in this with the Rev 9, which really, I have to be honest with you, it doesn't take long for that first fight scene between those two to appear, and you look at that and you go, fuck, these are two really, really badass people here, and yet she is a good guy. She does carry quite a big attitude with her, especially when it comes to Sarah Connor as well, which I cannot go into either. Again, she is like the Kyle Reese in this, so you can kind of expect a little bit of a storyline like that to come along, but with a difference, which I also cannot talk about. But in general, her performance, again, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Now, Gabriel, I cannot say his name, the Rev 9, the bad Terminator in here, they didn't overcomplicate this. The last Terminator in Genesis, with the John Connor kind of Terminator kind of thing, with the like kind of micro bots things and all that kind of stuff, was good, but this one's better. So he's a mixture of like the endoskeleton that you got from the first Terminator with the T1000 joined together. He is a badass. There isn't a lot that can actually beat him. In fact, there's probably only one thing that can actually beat him. And he's just really, really good. He introduces something different. So if you're expecting like kind of like the scenario of the T1000 in here with the way he moves, it's not like that. He actually puts something brand new in this. He actually, really, really, really good. I have to be honest. For a bad Terminator, he was really, really good. I like what they did. I like the fact that he is just this badass. He's just a Terminator that's got a target, and he won't stop until he gets him, and he does not stop. He is completely relentless throughout this whole movie, and I just think he works well. Once again, that must have been seriously physically demanding for him in certain places in this movie when they were filming, because it's just a very active, physical kind of movie. I have to be honest with you, and it's just something that I enjoyed, and I'm really, really excited, and I'm starting to rabble on, so I'm just going to move on. Now we're going to go on to Natalia. I cannot say her name, as Danny. So she is the person that Grace is basically protecting. Now, I'm the car. I really cannot talk too much about what she does in this and why she's being protected because I'll give too much away and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But her performance in this is actually really, really good. She is like the young Linda Hamilton at the beginning of this movie, from say like when Linda Hamilton was in the first Terminator. The only difference is you get to see her progression to how Sarah Connor is, like, say, now, very, very quickly through this movie. She is pretty much a badass. She doesn't take long for her to try, for that progression to actually start throughout this movie. It's just really, really enjoyable. Once again, like I said, I can't talk too much about her character without actually giving too much away. The spoiler review on this is going to be completely easy compared to this movie. This movie review, trust me. So, moving on to the main character, Arnie Schwarzenegger. Again, I can't talk too much about why he's there, why he's old. There's different theories that people put up there. Some of them are completely wrong, okay, of why he's there, why he's old, and all that. But you do get to see a very, very different Terminator version from him. So, if you're expecting T1, T2 kind of Terminator, that kind of version, you're not going to get it in any way, shape, or form. He is more of a human in this one. He has got more human traits in this. He is actually quite funny. He actually got his own name. He's Carl, but yet he's still there. And this is something I can give away, is the fact that he actually chooses to help them protect the girl. It's just really, really good what they did here. I have to be honest with you. I liked him a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved the first Terminator. I loved Arnie in the second Terminator. I actually adored his character in the second Terminator. It was just really, really good. And you get that same sense in this third Terminator movie as well, but with a difference, with a big, big difference. And it just worked for me. For me, my own personal self, it worked. I don't give a crap what anybody says. For me, he was really, really good. This whole movie was just, for me, once again, my own personal opinion, is such an enjoyable watch. I liked what they did here. I liked all the performances, and I'm dribbling and all that kind of stuff because I'm excited, because I literally just finished watching this movie and it's all going around in my head and I'm trying to think about what to say. Generally, the way this was shot was really, really good. I did expect quite a lot of CGI in this one, but I didn't actually mind it because of what was going on in the movie. It was actually entertaining, and I'm not a huge fan of CGI, I have to be honest with you, or overuse, but I get they had to use quite a fair bit in this movie. But generally, again, something I watched an interview with Arnie Schwarzenegger actually about 2 days ago about this Terminator movie, and he said something about less is more. I understand what he meant. Okay, he's not in this movie all the way through it. He's only in this movie for say like the last hour. But the moment he's on that screen, this whole movie does change into it, and you just get these kind of throwbacks, like to the first two Terminators. And this is going to lead on to my last thing about this movie. You can take the ending of this movie in two ways. You can take this as a close off to the franchise, as a great end to this franchise, excluding the last three, say T1, T2, and they call this T3. Okay, you can class this as a complete close off to this franchise, or you can say they've opened up to a future franchise, which potentially they have, and they have. I cannot deny it. They have opened this up for another franchise, or to continue a franchise, basically. For me, my own personal opinion, with certain lines that are being put in this movie, with certain scenes with this feels like a complete close off. Like, it would be a great send off to the Terminator series, to be fair, excluding the last three. There is a huge suggestion in this movie that this is Arnie's last movie, and that might be technically a little bit of a spoiler, maybe, I don't know. But if you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I'm on about. And this is my own personal opinion. I honestly think that for me, this is it. But if they do another one, which they, like I said, they have opened that door. If they do another one, I don't know if I'll be as keen to watch it, and I have to be honest with you. Because me, personally, I think this is just a great end to actually just finish this franchise. And I really, really do. I just think it's an absolutely fantastic end to it. If you, once you've seen this movie, or if you've seen this movie, or once you've seen this movie, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. But it worked for me. I enjoyed it. I always say if I can go into a movie and feel entertained at the end of the movie, it's a good watch. The plot in this is a little bit predictable. I can't take that away. But I don't care because of what's going on. It doesn't take long to get momentum at all. And when I say it doesn't take long to get momentum, we're talking minutes into this movie before it starts getting momentum. It's that quick. There is no kind of little bit of progression. It is like, boom, here you go. This is what's happening. And that is pretty much the standard of this whole movie throughout this movie. And this is the reason why I enjoyed it. If I was to give this a rating, it would be a very, very strong 8, 9 out of 10, probably even pushing the 10 out of 10. I will probably watch this movie again within the next few days. I'm probably going to go again to the cinema and watch it at the weekend. That's how much I enjoyed it. I really love this movie, and I don't care if people have found faults in it and all that kind of stuff. I really don't care. It's a great movie to finish this off. I enjoyed it. I was entertained. It's as simple as that, and I loved it. And I said I was going to make this movie review a little bit shorter, and I didn't. It's actually longer, but there's quite a lot to talk about. I admit the spoiler review will be a lot easier to do because I can actually talk about the things that are going on there, why I enjoyed it. But as a general, I just think it's absolutely fantastic. So, on that note, if you've seen this movie, please tell me what you think. Put it in the comments down below. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. So on that note, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care and goodbye.